What's going on, everybody? It is your boy Chris, man. We are here at the Work Hard, Play Harder podcast. It is Thursday, or actually, sorry, Wednesday, October 9th, 2024. I'm already skipping days here. My name is Chris Drummond. I'm a freelance sports reporter based out of Minnesota here, also proprietor of this podcast. And I bring individuals on to talk about their why, of why they do what they do, and also get to know them outside of their occupation. Got a special guest who's coming on with me today. Her name is Lexi. She works in sports. We're going to talk to her about her why of working in sports, and we're going to get to know her a little bit outside of her occupation. So without any further ado, I introduce to you the talented, the beautiful Lexi. Hello there. How
Hello.
you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. It's wonderful to see your face. You look absolutely lovely. I just want to say
Thank
that.
you.
You're
Thank
very
you.
welcome. Very welcome. First off, I want to say thank you for hopping on my podcast, Work Hard, Play Harder. And I want to ask you, how's your week been going? How did bowling go?
It was good. It wasn't my best week bowling, but I still have a pretty high average, so
Okay. Okay. Now, what do you average normally?
well, this is my first year doing it, and I was like at 140 something. Now I'm like 120 or like 125.
That's better than myself. I barely crack 100. That's pretty good. That's pretty. I love bowling, but I'm not very good. That's just what it is. But I love that. I love that you're in the bowling league. Before I start peppering you with all these questions, I want to kind of reiterate to you why I wanted to have you on here. So I know that you going through your profiles, you definitely bleed Detroit. There's no question. You're about Detroit,
100%.
Detroit, Michigan. I'm sure you're the Red Wings, Pistons, Tigers. I'm sure you're all that. By the way,
Oh
Tigers going
yeah.
up 2-1. We definitely gonna get into that conversation real quick.
Good.
Great win by the Tigers. So you're about sports. I'm a sports reporter based out of
hmm
Minnesota here. We're both in the Midwest. And I love talking to other people and finding out their stories about how they came into sports a lot. And it was a no brainer looking at some of your tweets and looking at who you are that I definitely wanted to have you on here and talk to me and break some bread. So thank you very much again.
Yeah, thanks for having me on.
No doubt. So my first question, Lexi, is the same as it always is with everybody that I have on this platform. What is your why? Why you do what you do? What is your why of being in sports, loving sports? Did you have any role models growing up? Any inspirations maybe that you might have had in your life? But what is your why of being in sports?
Well, honestly, it's been my entire life. Like I think like the first time I watched Michigan game, I was 5 years old. Kind of fell in love with football then. So it's been I've always been all sports. Like I played basketball and softball my whole life, a little bit of soccer. But like I really have loved football for the last 31 years of my life. So it's kind of like it happened that way and I fell in love with it. And, like I said, I did play sports too. So I've always been like had that competitive nature. I did coach basketball for a few years after I graduated high school. So
Okay.
that was really fun. But yeah, it's just kind of, I never had another option. It's like once sports got a hold of me, it was game over.
Basketball is definitely my favorite sport, so we definitely can vibe on that. That's for sure. No question about that. Now, when you say basketball, what position did you play?
So I play a little bit of point guard and shooting guard. I mean, I'm only 5'4", so
Mm,
I was real
okay.
scrappy. I was like a lot better on defense. I know, we had like nicknames in high school, and mine was convict because, I like to run my mouth and I like to, play tough defense. So it's kind of still kind of the same until to this day. Obviously, you see my tweets. So, but yeah,
Absolutely. Yes, I do. That explains a lot. Well, you said that. That does. That explains a whole lot.
yeah.
Okay. I like that though. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. I want to ask you about your college choice. And if you had attended college or not. Did you go to school?
Yeah, I did. I went to Eastern, actually, Eastern Michigan University. So,
Okay. Were there any
did
other schools that could have persuaded you from going there?
No, I kind of like my mom, and like my mom worked there for like 28 years. So it was like when I
Mhm.
did go to school there, like I got half off. So that was like a huge perk. But
Oh
to be
yeah.
honest, school wasn't like my thing. I think I'm like 12 classes away from my like BBA, like a Bachelor of Business Administration degree.
Sure.
But now I work in IT, so I don't really need like a degree to complete. I kind of just need to, do different certifications and kind of stay up like on the technological like aspect of things. So I like that a little more because, like I said, school was just never my thing.
I totally understand that. And listen, school is not for everybody for sure. I worked in IT for 6 years for the lottery. Actually, before I
Okay,
switched, before I switched to start doing sports reporting for that. So yeah, I worked 6 years there, and I'm actually heading into my 6 year now into sports reporting with a combination of Atlanta and Minnesota as well. So I totally understand that.
nice.
Thank you very much. I want to ask you some favorite things, Lexi. Okay,
Okay,
and you give me
sounds
the
good.
411 on what some of these favorite things are. Are you with me?
Yes.
All right, here we go. Let's rock. What is
All
your
right.
favorite meal you like to cook?
Oh man, to cook would probably just be like tacos or nachos. I could eat like Mexican food every single day.
Now,
I like
see,
to say it was like tacos, chicken
mhm.
wings, and like
Oh,
crab rangoon. Those are the three things that I could like live off of every single day of my life.
Lexi, you already won my heart, and I don't even know your ass. I really, I really don't. But you've already won my heart because Mexican food is my favorite. I grew up in California,
Oh,
so
okay.
I love Mexican food. Carne asada burritos are some of my favorite stuff that I love to eat. So yes, absolutely, I love those foods. Favorite concert you ever attended?
Um, I've attended like quite a few concerts, but I'm not really big on concerts. I like to go to festivals, or like at least I used to, where I would just kind of experience more like low key artists and stuff. But
Mhm.
I'd probably say on a whim, I think it was either last year. Yeah, it was last year. Eminem was doing like a surprise. No, 50 Cent was,
Wow.
sorry. 50 Cent was doing a concert. And I actually like came straight from the Detroit Lions game and went to what we call DTE Music Theater. Like it's Pine Knob. It's kind of like, lawn and all that. But I went to that, and then Eminem made a surprise appearance. I knew that he would because it was just obviously like in Michigan and like a really cool like venue. But yeah, that was awesome because it was just like a throwback to like, early 2000s. It was such a vibe.
Oh yes, definitely my middle school slash high school years of listening to Eminem for sure. I remember getting his Marshall Mathers album.
Yeah,
I
that's like one of
ran
the best albums all time, Marshall Mathers
ever,
LP.
ever, no question about it. I remember running to Target, getting that CD and playing it, and had no skips on that album. So it
Yeah.
was dope, pretty dope. Okay, I like that. Mine would probably be just going real recent, Lil Wayne versus Drake. That was a few years
Oh,
back. That was
nice.
quite the concert, especially when Drake was on the ascend. Lil Wayne was still at his peak. That was just a great concert, great outdoor concert with them two
Oh,
for
I'm
sure.
sure it sounds like a good time.
Oh yeah, it definitely was. I can't tell you all that happened because I don't remember all of it, but it was still a good time. It was a great time, for sure. Favorite place you've ever traveled to?
I have to say San Diego. So I've been there twice now, for work conference, and like I love all the different types of food, like the different districts. I went to a Padres game like this
Yep,
past April when I went, or May when I went, and that was like a really cool ballpark. But just all the different kinds of food, especially like the Mexican or Tex-Mex even. And then like the Little Italy where you can get like,
yep,
authentic Italian. It was great. Good time. I haven't been like,
absolutely.
it was probably either that too, and I've also been to like the bay side of the ocean in Maine. That's like obviously like a whole different,
That
vibe
is.
and atmosphere, and that was really cool too. But yeah, I'd probably say like San Diego is one of my favorite places.
Well, so that is my hometown. So
Oh no.
San Diego, yeah.
Okay.
So when I told you I was from California, that San Diego is the city I was from. My dad actually moved us there because he was in the Navy, and I pretty much grew up out there. Went to elementary, middle, and high school out there. So when you talk about Little Italy and the Gas Lab Quarter and Petco Park, I remember when it was Jack Murphy Stadium. I was super
Yeah.
small, and Qualcomm Stadium, right where the Chargers and the Padres played in the same stadium. I remember going to those games in those days. So absolutely.
Crazy.
Right? So, yeah, San Diego, you don't have to sweet talk me. I love San Diego, no question. Okay. Favorite sport you like to watch on TV, favorite sport you like to attend in person. Could be the same sport.
Yeah, I'm have to say football all day. Um, I'm a season ticket holder for Michigan and the Lions. So, my football seasons are pretty pretty jam-packed, but yeah, there's just nothing better. Like I will watch it. I almost like, Michigan has a bye this weekend and there's like a lot of great games on TV. So I'm like, okay, I get to relax, chill. I don't have to worry about a win or a loss, and I get to watch all these good games and I'll just do it all day. Like I like making appetizers and hanging out. But yeah, just football for sure. That's really the love of my life.
Absolutely. Can't go wrong with football. I know I said basketball is my favorite sport, but football is a close second. No question about it. I do have a bone to pick with all Michigan people because y'all did beat my Trojans a couple weeks ago. I'm a UNC Trojans fan. I was like, God, Lee, I thought we had that damn game won, but Michigan snatched it right from us up there in
Yeah.
Ann Arbor for sure. But it was a great game.
That's Big Ten football. That's what I was telling a lot of the fans, like, welcome to the Big Ten where anything can happen.
You ain't lying about that. So, and obviously, I realized that the second week in a row when the Gophers up here got our asses, and I was like, Lord have mercy. Couldn't believe that. Couldn't believe we lost to an unranked team like that. But nonetheless, I digress. I love me some Michigan. I do plan on coming to the Detroit game December 5th, which is the
Okay,
week after Thanksgiving. Obviously, when I'm in town, I definitely will have to hit you up for sure.
for sure.
Absolutely,
Absolutely.
no doubt. I want to ask his last favorite question because we kind of talked a little bit and we talked about mom spaghetti and you told me offline what that was, but I want to know what your what is your favorite restaurant to go to?
Um, like in Detroit or or you
Could
mean
be Detroit
yeah.
or
Uh,
anywhere or anywhere.
oh man. There's like a lot of good places. So I live in Ann Arbor. And there's a
Okay,
lot of great places like to eat here, but I would probably have to say, oh man, there's like a little slider bar that's in Detroit. Well, also Mexican town. If you're like once you've got to hit up, like they have like authentic like Mexican, and it's so good.
absolutely.
Um
Okay.
but it's like Exo Chill. Like I can't remember like the name of the restaurant, but also too there's a little place called Green Dot Stables,
Mm,
and it's like you just get all these like little sliders. They've got like 40 different little sliders that you can order, and they're like $3 to $4 a piece. And so you get like 6 or 7, and you get to just like try all these different things. It's really cool. It's right on the Detroit River too, so it's really awesome. Like at night, but it's a really good vibe, like old school, like kind of tavern like. It's really cool. But yeah, there's a lot of great places in Detroit. I mean, I could keep going on all day, but I know a place I do want to try when I'm down there next is like Grey Ghost. It's supposed to be a really
mm.
yeah, it's like a little more up there in the price range, but I've heard really great things about it. So
Okay. Now, how far is Ann Arbor from Detroit?
it's like about like 45 minutes. It's
Oh,
all
it's not too
highway,
bad.
so yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay, got you, got you. Yeah, I'm going to be down there a few days. So, like I said, I definitely want to be able to attend the game, but also see a couple of different things. I'm definitely going to try at least mom spaghetti. I can't be down there and not do that.
And you
That's
know what? Who knows? Eminem might be there, so that would be like a cool experience to do.
hello,
So
no doubt, no question. I'm with you on that. Okay, let's talk about your day to day. I know you say you worked in IT, but talk to me about like your day to day as far as involvement with maybe sports. I mean, I know you are a season ticket holder for both the Lions and the Wolverines. But tell me, how did you get to that point? Did you do anything as far as work in sports, and what is your day to day like?
yeah, I mean, I was doing a lot more content creation a few years back, but I've kind of got so I work at U of M, and I work for the School of Business, and so I've gotten a lot more involved like with my job there.
Hmm.
So I kind of just like backed off of doing like podcasts like my own and being on another one. I'll come on like when people like want me to come on. Of course, I'll always talk about football, but I just taken a couple steps back, and it's funny how it all started. Is like I've talked football and sports like all my life. Anybody that's been friends with me like knows like there's not a lot of girls like across the board, like of all sports that would know like things like I would. So I put out a tweet like 3 years ago and it like blew up. I was like, hey, I'm looking for content creation. Like, who can, get me in? And I ended up doing like a lot of like producing on the back end for like a couple different shows. I
Yeah.
know there was like a lot of sports betting, like in the morning, like betting for breakfast was one that was on the Sharp app. That was really nice. This
Okay.
guy Mark that I like got in touch with, and he's out from like Pennsylvania. So that was like a really cool like networking to do because he introduced me to like a lot more people where I got to like be in different shows. I was doing some like betting videos of my own. I know I was doing a lot
Okay.
of that last year. But once like I kind of wanted to step up in my job and like and really be more involved, I was like, okay, I need to like pull back because it was, especially I was recording videos every day. And so, and at that time too, I was like also going to school. So I'm like, all right, I need to
Mhm.
like reprioritize. Like, obviously, like I'll always be welcome, or, will be more than welcome to like come on to other people's shows.
Sure.
So that's just kind of like what I'm doing now. But yeah, I'm always going to have like a soft spot for sports and I'll always talk, football, basketball, whatever.
I like that. I do. And speaking of football, let's definitely talk about some Michigan Wolverines. Obviously, they are on a bye this week, but they're coming off a very tough loss against those Washington Huskies last. They got Illinois next on the road, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm,
Talk to me about, they are the defending champions. Do you
yeah.
see them making the 12-team playoffs? Because to me, it's going to be a tough road for them to make it because they still have Ohio State on the schedule as well, and they've already taken 2 losses. So, talk to me about this Michigan Wolverines team and your expectations.
I mean, I had realistic expectations from the start. We lost 17 players to the NFL, our head
Yeah.
coach, half the staff. It
Mm-hmm.
was always going to be this, you know what I mean? Because you get a first year head coach in Sharon, and you have all this new talent. You didn't have a quarterback that you even could name,
Right.
like right away. So it a lot of people, and the schedule was a gauntlet. I mean, I think we have like one of the top five hardest schedules in college football this year. So,
Mm-hmm.
you mixing that with like, losing Jim Harbaugh and like all of our players, especially our offensive line, like five guys off the offensive line went to the NFL.
Right.
That's probably like one of the biggest struggles I feel like I'm having personally. Like, luckily, Khalil Mullings has been like going off and, finding his way regardless. But, there's a few things that they need to like improve on. But we've not only do we have Ohio State, we have Oregon. So Ohio State's away, Oregon's at home. Oregon is looking very good this year.
Oh yeah.
But they
We're gonna
also
find out a
surprised.
lot about them this week. That's for sure.
Yeah, hey, that I'm so happy I get to watch that game and not not worry about Michigan at all. Um, but yeah, I mean, I think that they can also surprise a lot of people too. I know that, to try to keep that culture that Jim Harbaugh built intact is no easy task to do. So, and now with like the whole landscape of college football being so much different, I'm not going to be, angry or call for Sharon's job like if they don't make the playoffs. Like, this is a very tough year. I'm hoping that now, like, with Tuttle coming in and like, him being more like, that senior role, and getting more experience that will kind of have be more consistent at quarterback because that's just, when you don't got a quarterback, what are you doing? You know what I mean? Like, that's the one thing we need to hit on along with the offensive line. So, just being realistic. I know a lot of us are spoiled in what we experienced the last 3 years of Michigan football.
Sure.
But a lot of fans could only hope to go 15-0 and win the national title, and not many have done that. So that's just what I kind of keep in mind, and what I try to remind a lot of my other Michigan friends, like, hey, we just won a natty with a perfect record. We like only lost what, 3 games in the last 3 years total. Like, and
Yep.
this was always going to be a rough go. So I think kind of keeping an open mind and like I'm also not a person that's going to be like constantly negative. I've been a Detroit fan my whole life. I can deal with some shit. Okay? So
Yes, you can. Yes, you
yeah.
can.
So this is nothing. We're still 4-2. You know what I mean? I'm not crying about anything, and I don't think I really will, even regardless what happens this season.
Yeah, you hit it right on the head. One of my expectations, obviously losing McCarthy, losing Harbaugh, losing a lot of players on that Michigan team was how is this Michigan team going to bounce back, being the defending champions? I had real worries about that offensive line. I really did. Coming into the season, I just didn't know how that offensive line would shake up. Plus, the integration of teams coming over from the Pac-12 to now the Big Ten, making it a little bit more competitive with that. Just looking at their schedule, starting off, you knew Texas was going to be a tough game. Everybody knew
Hmm.
that because Texas was a really good team. I think the shocker for me probably was the Washington game. I didn't see Washington posing that much of a fight with them with Michigan. I thought Michigan would handle them a little differently, but it is on the road as well. I do think they win a majority of their games. I definitely think they get to a bowl game. It's just going to be
Hmm.
very tough for me to see them in the 12-team playoff with about 3, 4 losses because, like you said, with Oregon being at home, I'm not going to say that they can't surprise Oregon because I got to wait and see how Ohio State matches up with them in this big
Yeah,
time
for
game
sure.
this week. But anytime that you face Michigan, Ohio State, that's just a huge rivalry game. And I want to get your opinion. I want to get your thoughts on that. Michigan, Ohio State. I'm sure you go to all the ones that you can possibly go to. But going
Hmm.
to that game, what is that atmosphere like when you're going to a Michigan, Ohio State game?
Extremely toxic. I truly believe though that that is like, I know a lot of people don't agree, but the greatest rivalry of all time, because it predates even matching up with football, where it was like, Michigan and Ohio fought over Toledo and had a war over it, basically. And so I just feel like our two states have just always destined to like hate each other,
Mm-hmm.
and it's deep rooted. Like, it really is deep rooted. I mean, you think about the Woody Hayes and the Bo Schembechler of the '70s, and how kind of intense that always was, and
Sure.
it's just always been. I mean, I know that there was, about 20 years almost of us really taking a brutal beating from them, but it's been
Mm-hmm.
very nice reminiscing now, because my childhood, we beat Ohio State like in the 90s. It was like,
Yep.
we basically had them every few years. We'd drop one randomly, and then 2000 hit, and it was like, oh boy,
Yeah, it went
and then
down. It did.
yeah. And so the last 3 years have been such a joy, and an opportunity for me to really gain back all my smack talk over the last like two
Right.
decades prior. So,
I
yeah,
totally get that.
I'll say I'm personally never going to go to a game in Columbus. I've heard a lot of horror stories. I'm also, not very well liked in that fan base. So I feel like it would just be like a target on my back if I do go. But when they do come to Ann Arbor, like, yeah, there's like trash talk and stuff. But I will say in Ann Arbor, Ohio State fans get treated a lot better than Michigan fans do when they go to Columbus. And, I've attested from that from many different people. So,
Mm.
but it's just it's bitter, especially, these last few years. Ohio State's not happy, especially after 2023, but like getting to rush the field and be a part of that is just an experience unlike any other.
Oh, really? So you rushed the field?
Oh yeah. I actually was like, sorry, that's my dog. I have a picture where they're like telling us to exit the field, and I'm like flexing on like the scoreboard. So that was
Okay.
really
I
fun
definitely
time.
got to see that photo. You got to share that photo with me for sure. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, for
I've
sure.
never been to the Big House. That is a bucket list thing of mine. I definitely want to go there one of these days. I have been to the Horseshoe one time. That was quite big. That was a big stadium for sure. But it was fun to go there, but I would love to go to the big house as well. And I'm definitely putting that on a bucket list to go to Michigan and see a football
Yeah,
game.
I'm
Sure.
it's a one of a kind experience, you know what I mean? I
Yeah.
know we're all kind of packed in there like sardines, but like the big house is just like incredible, you know? I mean, I've been to other stadiums and like yeah, there's different cool ones, but just how big it is and how many people there are and you know, now it's like a lot more people get more involved and like we make it a harder environment to play in. It's really cool to experience.
I love it. I really do. Now, your Detroit Lions got a huge game this week versus those Cowboys down in Dallas. Now, obviously, Detroit is coming off. I mean, I don't know how much more perfect, no pun intended, Jared Goff could be versus the Seahawks last week. He was phenomenal, no question
Oh
about it.
yeah.
And listen, the Lions got to the NFC Championship last year. They're a very good football team. Now their defense has a lot to be desired. Not gonna lie about that, Lexi.
Hmm.
But with Jared Goff playing this way and putting up the points that he's putting up is pretty good. What do you think about your chances going up against this Cowboys team on Sunday?
I mean, anyone who knows anything about going to Jerry's World is that you're not going to be getting the calls, so you've already got to prepare for that. But you know, don't even get me started. And I also hate that like we match up with them every year in Dallas. Like they they will not come like they will not come to Detroit. You know, it's been like a long
Mm-hmm.
time since they've been, and that annoys me so much. But you just got to play perfect ball. You know, we're getting Brian Branch back, which is huge. I think not having him when we face Seattle too, um, that's I feel like how Gino went off so much because we didn't have that presence in the middle of the field, like just stripping down everything. You know what I'm saying? So I think like you know, Frank Ragnar's coming back, he's healthy. So not having him like on our offensive line again, I cannot believe like we did what we did against Seattle, like having being down so many of like these big impactful players. So
Mm-hmm.
to be more healthy going into Dallas is going to be the biggest thing, and just don't letting Dak go off. You know, for some reason he likes to perform really well against us, which I hate. But you know, I know that there is a lot to be desired, especially like in the secondary. But every game
Mm-hmm.
we've gotten better. Like Tyrion Arnold, I feel like gets a lot of like, um, you know, like bad talked about him when really he's like faced the best wide receivers in the league so far. Like every single game, he's matched up against someone like elite. So to do what he's done and like not, you know, be totally like run off has been impressive to me. So I'm the culture is just amazing. What Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes have done with this team and continue to
Mm-hmm.
do is
I
just
agree with that.
is what I've been waiting for my entire life. To have competence like in coaching in the front office in Detroit is like a dream come true for me. So, you know, I'm just staying positive, but you just got to play perfect ball in Dallas. You just do. You can't be having turnovers. You know, you can't, you know, be doing any of that. So just hopefully Goff carries, you know, off the bye week that same energy that he brought against Seattle.
I definitely think Laporta needs to be a little bit more involved in this particular game. Really challenge those linebackers, especially with Lawrence and Parsons both being out
Mm, yeah, that's
in Dallas.
huge.
Laporta should definitely be involved. Now you know they're gonna have their hands full that secondary with CeeDee Lamb. They're gonna have their
I
hands.
know.
There's no question. They're gonna have to double him or something because that I love Branch and I love what you're talking about as far as the secondary, but they're gonna have their hands full. Because Dak is gonna
Kirby
throw.
Joseph might have something to say about it too, though. He's been doing pretty good. So
He has, but and you know Dallas is going to help out Detroit because number one, they can't run the ball for whatever reason. They're not running the ball very well, so they're making Dak one dimensional, having to throw the ball 40 to 50 times. And I think Aiden Hutchinson, them guys can get after Dak if he's able to, be able to drop back that many times with the line that's having a lot of trouble running the football. I do have the Lions winning the game in my prediction and going 4-1 because I think this prepares them for the showdown against the Vikings here
mhm.
next Sunday, which is going to be absolutely crazy. Do you travel? Do you travel and go to the games for the Lions?
Yes. We're trying to do an away game this year. I'm not sure which one we're gonna do. We might do like Chicago later on.
Mm.
But Minnesota is on my bucket list. Absolutely, it is. So
All right. Well, you
I
know
would
what
love
to
to go
do.
down to Houston too this year, but I don't think that's gonna happen. So
Well, if you're ever in Minnesota, you know what to do. There's no question about it.
for
Okay. No
sure.
doubt. Definitely. No doubt. Now, the Tigers, the Detroit Tigers. I love talking sports, love talking football. Your Tigers went up 2-1 today, shut out those Guardians, and now they're one game away from going to the ALCS. Last time the Tigers went to the ALCS, if I'm not mistaken, they made it to the World Series. So,
They did.
with that being said, how are you feeling about your Detroit Tigers? Number one, I can assure you, nobody had the Tigers making to the postseason at all at the beginning of this season. Nobody did, including myself. Probably you too. But
No, yeah.
how do you think your Tigers are doing so far, and what is your expectations for them moving forward?
I mean, this is probably one of the greatest runs I've ever experienced. I experienced like the 2000, 12, 13. I experienced the 2006, with Maglio Ordonez. But like, I just feel like this run is just so special. And like, I went to Chicago like at the end of August, and I went to the White Sox game and the Cubs game. And I would have never guessed, like at that point, that they would make this run. Like we got smacked around by the Cubs, and we ended up
Yep.
beating the White Sox pretty good, which ironically, we also clinched, against the White Sox like at home. But
Yeah,
it
everybody took a turn beating them. That's for sure. The White Sox.
yeah, yeah. But I think it's just such a unique situation because there's so many rookies on this team that you
Mhm.
don't have anybody that's like, selfish or like, hey, I need playing time over this person, or why is he starting over me? Or like that, there's just so much just joy and excitement with these young guys that I feel like, and I mean, I think for years to come, this team is going to be, consistently better, which I'm very excited about. But just this unique situation, like in general, I feel like is what the spark they needed. And I mean, trading some of our best players, at the deadline and then making that run like yeah what 0.2% chance or 0.02% chance they had to make the
Yeah,
playoffs like in
yeah.
beginning of August to do what they did and become the best team in baseball after that is just it's awesome. I can't even like describe just how like happy my heart is because I've been waiting for the DetroitTigers to be good again. And I'm still waiting on the Pistons. It's been like 20 years. I'm
Oh,
very
you
sad.
gonna wait a whole lot more damn years for the Pistons. I'm gonna tell you that right now.
Don't say that. But yeah, no, the Tigers are such a great, great thing. And I'm so excited for the city. Detroit deserves the world. So I'm hoping that we can continue this.
Um, no question about that. Again, coming into the season, you thought that the Yankees would be good. You really thought the Orioles would be good. You kind of knew somebody in the West would pan out. Not so. I don't know if Texas. Obviously, they came in as the defending champions. But you kind of knew somebody in the West had to come. But nobody thought that three teams from the Central would make the postseason. Nobody did. I know I didn't. But this Detroit team starts with AJ Finch. What a hell of a managerial job he's done. If he doesn't win Manager of the Year, I don't know. Maybe the Guardians manager might do it, but he definitely deserves a lot of credit for that turnaround. He's a damn good manager. And listen, I like Green, I like Carpenter on your team. I like those two players. Baez, I know Baez was on the team, but they moved him, didn't they?
So he's still back. Like he was actually back today. Like I know they said he was dealing with some like family things, but
Right.
he's been kind of a disappointment after we
He,
picked him up. But
yes.
I'm not gonna complain about anything because the way that this team is rolling right now is
Mm-hmm.
is awesome.
The surprise thing is their pitching. Not no question about it. I knew they had some hitters in the lineup, but their pitching has been some of the best pitching since the second half of the year. And to really lock up that Guardians team with Jose Ramirez and company is
Hmm.
impressive. No
Oh
question
yeah.
about it. And these
Well,
guys, oh, go ahead.
no, I was just gonna say, just even the way that AJ like does like all the pitching, and it's like always kind of keeping you on your toes, and switching in and out. So I think that gets frustrating for teams, and it's been a huge, threat, and it helps us kind of do what we've been doing.
And it really shows that the two hottest teams are still in baseball, which is the New York Mets and the Detroit Tigers. Wow, look at that
Yeah,
Mets team to eliminate those Phillies tonight.
I
Wow,
know. I
that
would have
is
never
something.
called that.
No, me neither. Me neither. But I'm so happy because hopefully my Padres, I know they were getting smacked right now, but hopefully my Padres make it to the next round. That'd be great. Great matchup. We would have home field. That would just be a great matchup for sure. Now, you talked about your Pistons. We're not going to spend a whole lot of time on this damn team. I'm going to tell you that right now. Okay. The only thing I
Yeah.
like about them is what the arena is. It's Little Caesars. And I love me some Little Caesars. That's about it. That's all I like. No, you know what? Kate Cunningham. I like
I
him too.
know. Bless his heart.
You got to
That's all I
tell
have
me.
to
I,
say.
I want to hear your expectations for this team. Because let me tell you something. I don't think that they'll. I think they'll probably be better than maybe one team in the East, maybe one,
Yeah.
and that might be Charlotte. And I
hmm
might be going out a limb on that. But tell me your expectations on this Detroit Pistons team.
Honestly, like after last year, I'm like, if we hit 30 wins, I'll be like on a little bit happy. I know how pathetic that sounds, but I think kind of switching up the coaching, I think it gives a if I'm going to be honest, I really until Tom Gore
Please.
sells the team, I don't think that anything good is going to happen because I feel like he doesn't take it serious enough as an owner. But
Mm.
I'm glad that we kind of cleaned house and now we can get like a refreshed like vision and the way they're going to make hopefully making moves this season as well. So I don't really have high expectations, I'm pretty aware of like what this franchise state is right now and what they probably will be for like even a few more years. But I'm just glad we locked Kate up because I'm like, if we lose him, good Lord, we're in big trouble. So I'm glad that
Yeah,
he
they
wanted
might
to
as well
stay
put me
here.
and you out there. Me and you out there on the
Yeah,
basketball court with three others. And then that's
yeah,
about
I
it.
know. It's
Okay.
a
Are
rough
you going to
time.
any
So
games? You going to any Piston games this year?
oh yeah, I will for sure. Yeah, absolutely. That and
Got
Red Wings. I can't wait.
I'm actually now that I've stated because I definitely plan on going to the fifth December 5th Lions game. If I'm not mistaken, y'all host the Packers, and that's going to be a
hmm
very very good game. It's the week after Thanksgiving, and
Yeah.
I'm to see that weekend because I'm staying there that weekend, seeing if there's any Piston games for sure. So I'll definitely check that out.
Oh,
It's
hopefully there is. Yeah, because it's just like right there, And I'll say like I'm not a huge fan of Little Caesars pizza, but I will always get the personal pizza like at Little Caesars Arena because I feel like that's like the best version of it.
absolutely. We don't even have a Little Caesars here. We have
Oh,
Domino's and Pizza Hut. That's about it.
dang,
And then
Pizza Hut. I miss those days.
right? Tell me about it. So that's what we have here for sure. I want to do an extended version of my interactive game this time, and it's going to be called This or That. So basically, what that is I'm going to throw out two things at you, and you get to choose one of them, whether it's this or that. Are you with me?
Gotcha.
All right, here we go. First thing, we've been vibing all episode long, and now Lexi, the first question is real: Popeyes or KFC?
Oh, KFC. I love KFC.
Okay,
I
okay,
to be honest, I haven't eaten fast food a lot in the last like 3.5 years,
that's
but I've
good.
had Culver's twice and then KFC once. And man, I'm like, that, original recipe is just so darn good.
Okay, okay, that's all right. That's okay. You can redeem yourself on this next one. Okay, that's what I call.
Okay.
You redeem yourself. Here we go. Chicken wing flavors: barbecue or lemon pepper.
Barbecue.
Okay. Do you like your wings wet or dry?
I like most of the time I like them wet, but I will say I love
Hmm.
like a hot rub. I love like a spicy rub on chicken wings, but I'll take the wet all day.
I ain't mad with that. I love buffalo sauce on my wings. Little dry rub ain't nothing wrong with that, but I do like my wings wet. Okay. Do you like your wings bone in and boneless?
Bone in. Okay, I'll eat chicken nuggets all day, but like you give me flats over anything.
Okay, I like that. You redeemed yourself because I definitely
Thank
would eat
you.
the same way. No question about that. Okay, here we go. Which player would you rather choose? Would you rather choose Cecil Fielder or Isaiah Thomas?
Isaiah Thomas. I feel like he
Oh,
made more of like an everlasting impact like on his team and I just love he's like petty, and I love that he still like kind of harbors that like pettiness, and
Hmm.
it's like rooted deep inside of him, so I can respect it.
Okay. Would you choose Chauncey Billups or Maglio Ordonez?
Mr. Big Shot all day. I love Chauncey
Ooh.
so much. Well, and too, like especially the '04 championship, just like meant the world to me, and is something I hold like literally hold on to like all the time. But I mean, I loved
Mm.
Maglio, but yeah, if you give me that, it's Mr. Big Shot all day.
You just had to mention the '04 championship, huh? They defeated the Lakers. I
I
get it.
know, a Kobe and Shaq
Yeah, yeah,
Lakers,
yeah,
nonetheless,
yeah,
in five. I'll never
yeah.
forget it.
Yes, my favorite team, and I didn't cry that time, but I was damn sure upset. But
If it
a
makes you
lot
feel
of
any better, Kobe's my goat. So,
okay, okay, I love it. That does make me feel a little bit better for sure. But yes, okay, here we go. Which player would you rather choose? Would you rather choose Barry Sanders or Miguel Cabrera?
ah. I'm gonna have to go Barry because I just like I said, the Lions like are my
Hmm.
heart and soul. I miss Miggy so much. I really wish he could be like a part of this run, but I know he's like kind of doing some front office stuff, so he's like technically there. But yeah, give me Barry all day.
Okay, I like that. Which player would you rather choose? Would you rather choose Megatron or would you rather choose Rip Hamilton?
Ooh, that's a tough one.
Hmm.
I love Rip so much, but yeah, I gotta go Calvin. I got to go
Okay.
down to, not only did I get to watch him play for my team, but I actually got to go down to the Pro Football Hall of Fame and watch him get inducted, and that was like one of the coolest experiences just to witness. So,
Yeah, that's pretty cool. That is. All right. Well, listen,
especially
this
because there
next
was Charles Woodson, Peyton Manning. It was a hell of a class. It was a great time.
also that was that 2018 when that
Uh,
happened?
no, 2021 or 2022.
2021? Okay, so that was recent. Pretty recent you did
Yeah,
that.
a couple years ago.
Okay, that's pretty awesome.
Mhm.
These next four have to do with music concerts you rather attend. So here we go. Which music concert would you rather go to? Kendrick Lamar or Drake?
Kendrick all day, baby. I love
Okay,
Kendrick so
that's
much.
that's my girl. That's my girl. You rocking with me now. Okay, here we go. Which concert would you rather go to? J. Cole or Big Sean? Remember where you at now.
Big Sean, baby, all day.
You know you got to pick
I
one
do
from
love
the
J. Cole though, but yeah, you put him between him and Big Sean, I'm taking him all day.
I got you. Now, which concert would you rather go to? Brandy or Monica?
Ooh, that's such a like. I'd have to say Monica. It's funny that you actually talk about that. I was one of her songs came up in my Spotify the other day. For You I Will, and I was like, man, I can remember being like in or middle school, like the middle school dances, like but I've always loved like the R&B, especially like the women of R&B, in the late '90s, early 2000s. So that's hard, but I'm taking Monica.
Yeah, they came out with the Boy Is Mine remix with Ariana Grande, and I thought that was pretty good. I thought that was a
Oh,
good thing.
I'll have to listen
Absolutely.
to it.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Last one for the music. Which music concert would you rather attend? Are you going to see Casey Musgraves or are you going to see Carrie Underwood?
Oh, Carrie Underwood. I'm not like a huge like country person anymore. Like, give me '90s country, but no, I really like Carrie Underwood. Always kind of liked
Okay,
her.
I like that. Now, which sport would you rather play? Badminton or bowling?
Oh man. I'll just say bowling, but I actually keep like a set of badmintons, like a birdie in my my car. I got it like a dollar store like years ago, and it's
Okay.
like, hey, you don't even need a net sometimes. You just grab it and play with somebody. So, but I'll take bowling.
I'm gonna let you know, Lexi. I'm a very good badminton person. So if you ever needed a partner, and I'm down there, please let me know. Once again,
For sure.
I'm with you on that. Okay, next one here. Which sport would you rather watch on TV? Would you rather watch baseball or softball?
Baseball.
Okay, okay,
I mean,
I'm
I
with you
played
on that.
softball, but yeah, I'd rather watch baseball.
I love it. I love it. Okay, which I would say this: which Detroit or which Michigan football player would you revere more, Desmond Howard or Charles Woodson?
That's so hard. I love Dez, but Charles Woodson's the GOAT. Always will be
Okay.
to me. So, you just
Okay.
there's never been a player like him ever since, you know what I mean? And I mean,
Hmm.
I will say Travis Hunter is like semi close, but I still, no one touches Charles.
Okay. Now let me ask you, which member of the Fab Five was your favorite?
Um, I still will always love Jawan. I think that like he's always got a place in my heart, but like growing up, it was definitely Jalen Rose. I mean, I feel like just kind of his vibe and personality was like similar to mine when I was like younger. So, just kind of being the one out there like talking smack, getting the ball, going for it, being like gritty and scrappy on the floor. So, I'll have to go with him.
Absolutely, acting just like a convict. I understand
Yeah.
it. That's totally fine. I get it. Do you like desserts?
What?
Do you like desserts?
Oh, yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Okay, so I'm gonna name four categories of desserts. You have to eliminate one of these that you'll never eat again. Okay.
Okay.
All right, here we go. First one is ice cream. The second one is cookies. The third one is cake. And the last one is candy. Which one are you
Yeah.
getting rid of that you'll never eat again?
I'm not a huge fan of cake. Like cheesecake is great,
Mm.
but like regular cake, I could pass on all day. I'm not a huge fan.
Yeah, I would have definitely said candy because I can't get rid of red
I,
velvet. That red
I
velvet cake is
see.
something different.
I love gummy, like sour gummies. Those are like my kryptonites. I can never get
Yeah,
rid of candy.
if I do eat candy, it's definitely gelatin. So Sour Patch Kids, Lifesaver Gummy is
Mm,
probably number one. Sweetest Fish, stuff like that for sure.
yep,
No question. Okay. Do you like potato chips?
I do.
Same format. I'm going to name four brands. You have to eliminate one of those. You'll never eat again. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Here we go. First one is Ruffles. The next one is Lay's. The third one is Pringles. The last one is Doritos. Which one are you getting rid of? You'll never eat again.
And I'll have to go with Ruffles, only because like I love
Oh hell
Lay's.
no! No, you did not. Come on, girl. We've been vibing all episode. You gonna say the
I,
Ruffles?
I love me some Pringles and I love Lay's, so yeah, I'm gonna have to do that. And
Okay.
Doritos, I love Doritos too.
Well, listen. You get no argument from me with Doritos. I'm gonna ask you: are you a salt and vinegar person?
No, I'll have
Okay.
like a couple if I'm like in the mood for it, but no.
Okay. So you still in my good graces then, even though you chose to get rid of the greatest chip ever made, which is the sour cream and cheddar. Sour cream and cheddar Ruffles is the greatest chip ever made. That's just it. Okay. All right. You did pretty good on this or that. I want to ask this next question. If there was a career, right, and you wasn't doing IT, if there was a career choice that you or a career path that you could have chosen to do, what would be that career path and why?
So I'm very into like astronomy and like space and really just like physics in general.
Hmm.
If I could redo it, I would be like a physics professor. But
I totally
you
see that
know,
too.
yeah, I'm
Yeah.
like huge, like kind of like a nerd into it, but I got like, quite a few books even like by like Stephen Hawking and everything that
Mm.
I will just sometimes read randomly, but yeah, if I could do anything, that would probably it.
Now, what is your sign?
Aries.
Okay, okay, got you. I'm an Aquarius.
Okay.
Yeah, so definitely I'm an Aquarius for sure. So Aries, I don't know much about the Aries sign, but I know Gemini is like the worst when it comes to Aquarius. So it just
Yeah,
that's the way
my
it is.
little sister's a Gemini. My little sister and my best friend. So I've got enough
Oh,
Geminis on my plate between
I
the
got
two of
you on
them.
that. Say
But
less. I know that's right. Okay. What is some advice that someone has given you in your life that you hold on dearly to?
um like really just like so I actually like a small story, but I was cut from the like high school basketball team my junior year
Okay.
And really just my mom kind of just always would just tell me like, never give in, never give up, because I was just kind of like throwing it in. But that's like one thing I've always kept with me. And I mean, through everything in life where it's like things knock you down, like you just can't give up. You got to keep pushing, keep going. You will come out, better for it on the other side, regardless of what happens. So that's really one thing that I've always taken to heart.
I got you. I like that. I really do. And you know, adversity, a lot of times when it hits us, that really marks the character of us, right? Because sometimes when you get hit with adversity, you just pummel and you crumble a little bit. Some people do, not everyone, but then some people take that adversity and rise up from it and learn from it. And I always say I like to be around people that are comfortable being uncomfortable, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
That's the people I love to be around because to me, it just shapes the character of your personality, of who you are, and it also allows you to experience different situations and be able to have different reactions to things that might not be the most comfortable, but you react to them in a positive way. So I do love that advice for sure, no question. I want to do some rapid fire with you because
Okay.
we're almost coming up to the end. And the first thing that comes to your mind, I want you to just let me know what it is. So the first thing that I'm going to ask you is burgers or tacos,
Tacos.
waffles or pancakes.
Waffles.
Mm, that's my kind of girl. I like that Belgian waffle. Belgian waffle.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Let's rock with it. Favorite color of yours?
Blue.
Okay. Why would I ask that dumbass
No.
question? Of course, I walked into that one. I literally did. Okay.
Three of the four, or four of my five teams have it in.
Oh, right, right. um, favorite board game.
Oh, I love Cards Against Humanity. That's really fun.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I
I
was
mean,
gonna ask.
I know it's not technically a board game, so I guess um I like I've actually played Shoots and Ladders a couple years ago, and wow, I really
Wow,
missed that game. Yeah, that was always a
wow,
fun one.
that is throwing it back to my childhood right there. Shoots and ladders,
Hmm.
Candyland, all those games for sure. Okay, spades or dominoes.
Dominoes.
Okay, okay, I like that. You know how to play a little bit of bones. I like that. That's cool. Here we go. Favorite sandwich.
Oh, honestly, just a straight up grilled cheese. But like you gotta give me like,
Mm,
maybe a couple different cheeses, maybe on like a really good like ciabatta bread or like, baguette. I don't know. But I love a good grilled cheese. Maybe throw some ham on there too. But
okay. If you had three songs, Lexi, to listen to that you'll never get tired of listening to, you can have them on repeat. What would those three songs be?
Family Business by Kanye.
Mm.
Um, oh man.
Things, the
So
things.
College Dropout is my number one album of all time. Like there's
Without
nothing that
question.
compares.
Okay, from
So
Kanye, yes, no question. My
yeah.
best album, no question.
So let's see, Family Business. I'd probably say um Backseat Freestyle by Kendrick. I listen to that all the time. Like I listen to like sometimes like 10 times in a row if I'm in the car, if I'm just like feeling that.
Okay,
Um
okay. Let me find out there's a little bit of hood in you, Lexi. Okay, I'm with you on that. I'm with you on
yeah,
that.
no. And Easy Does It by Easy E. That's like one of my favorite songs.
Okay. Now, see, you already had me swept off my feet with the Mexican food. Now you coming out hood with Easy E? Oh my God,
Yeah. I remember
that's
the first
what's
time I
up.
listened to NWA, it was like I think I was like 11 or 12. And yeah, I was kind of just like, that Dr. Dre, like Eminem. I kind of fell in love with like rap and hip hop at a young age and
I
I've just
feel
been
you on
running
that.
with it. So.
No doubt, no doubt about it. I got a few more to wrap it, but before I get to it, on the College Dropout album, the first time I ever heard that, definitely Never Let Me Down was a song I had on repeat all the time.
Yeah.
It,
Through the
it,
Wire too. Through the Wire is another one that I'll just like
now, see,
nonstop.
but we heard that one because he came out with a video on that. So
Yeah.
that one I was like, okay, that's cool. And then he came out with the All Falls Down. And then he came out with the workout plan, but the Never Let Me Down on the album, I was like, that was my song right there. Anyways, you already know what it is.
Yeah.
Next one here, favorite sport that you would play and dominate in.
Basketball, especially because I coached it for a few years. You get like that aspect like on the back end that I feel like it made me a better player than I ever was like in high school. And I mean, even now, like I carry a ball when I go places and, play
Okay.
at parks and stuff. But yeah.
Now, I ain't gonna toot my own horn, but I can shoot just a little bit now. Do
I
you
still
think
got a pretty sweet shot myself.
you still got to pretty sure? Okay, I'm just saying, you play a little horse or pig against somebody. I mean, are you betting on yourself?
Oh yeah.
Okay, all right. Okay, I'm just saying, I'm throwing that out there. That's all I'm doing. Okay, now the antithesis of that sport that you would play that you would absolutely suck in.
So I'm not like it's again funny you say this, but so I picked up golf this year. I mean, I've gotten a lot better, but like I feel like I'm a natural athlete in like almost every sport. Like I can pick something up and be
Sure.
pretty darn good in it.
Mm-hmm.
Golf humbled me to the point where it's like it's such a love-hate relationship with it that yeah, I mean, if it comes to that, I wouldn't quite bet on myself just yet. Give me a few more years.
Now, see, that's a surprise a little bit, Lexi, because with basketball, that's all about hand-eye coordination, ball
You
being
would think,
able.
but let me tell
Mm-hmm.
you, there is
Okay.
nothing in my life that's ever humbled me more than golf when it comes to
Wow.
sports.
I
Nothing.
would I would say hockey for me. Putting
Yeah,
up skates, I got a whole new respect for somebody that skate around on the ice. I really do. That is some
yeah.
coordination with your feet. That's amazing. Somebody coming at you full speed, hitting you into the glass. Like, yo, I'm good. Don't run and hit me. I'm good.
Dude, my
I'll take
grandparents, like I grew up on a lake, so like I always like ice skated as a kid, and like I love like Mighty Ducks is one of my favorite movies. I was
it
doing knuckle
is.
puck like every time.
Oh wow! And that was actually my next and last rapid fire question was your favorite sports movie.
Remember the Titans?
Stop it! It's not.
Yeah,
Are you
I
serious?
could I could probably like recite that entire movie and not even be watching it. Like I've seen it
The
like 100 times.
the only reason why I say that is because that's also my favorite movie as well.
Nice.
Yeah, definitely. If you if you fumble the ball, I will kick
I'll
you
bring
with your John Brown hind parts,
yeah. And
and then
then you will run a
you
mile.
run a mile.
Yeah.
I feel you on that. But a close second would definitely be Field of Dreams for
Yeah, I
me.
love Field of Dreams. I also love the Sandlot because that just kind of reminded me a lot of my childhood and like
That's also
playing neighborhood ball with the kids and stuff. But yeah, there's a lot of good ones, a lot of
a
great
lot of great
sports
sports
movies.
movies, no doubt, no doubt. Now, I want to ask you this, and I normally ask this to finish off my podcast because this has been a very cool conversation, talking different sports with you and kind of learning about you. But is there anything else that you want to add about yourself that we haven't talked about before we conclude?
Um, No, I kind of like laid it all out there. I mean, my like whole life literally is like sports. So it's like that's kind of like what my personality is. I mean, like you've seen me like on Twitter and stuff like that, but
Yeah.
got a little bit of spiciness to me like with some things and like to I would say like run my mouth because here's the thing. I can dish it because I can take it. And I've taken it for a long time. So I've just been, that is one thing that I kind of like really said where it's like, yeah, I will go toe to toe with anybody because I can take whatever, it's just leave it to sports though, and nothing outside of that.
Now, see, and now I've seen your tweets, and I've seen you in action, and I was like, yeah, I definitely got to talk to this woman. I definitely do because I
Yeah,
definitely are hardcore for your teams. You are ride or die. That's the type of fan that you
absolutely.
want to be. You want to be that kind of fan, but you grew up in that atmosphere as well. So you're also very knowledgeable, right?
Hmm.
I feel like I can talk sports with you all day long. And sometimes you get people that just want to troll, especially when you're a reporter like myself. They all want to come up to
Yeah.
you and kind of just talk to you about sports and ask you about this, ask you about that. Oh, and every time that you're wrong about something, they'll let you know. They'll let you
Oh,
know
I
about it.
know. I
So
know.
It's one of those things, right? So it's like, okay, bro, like chill. I get paid to do this. So
Yeah,
you stick to the fan zone. You do what you got to do. Keep it sports. Keep it funky. Keep it on social media, and we're gonna be good with that. But
for sure.
but nonetheless, no, this has been a really cool, dope conversation that I've had with you, learning a little bit more about you,
For
getting to know
sure.
you a little bit outside of what you do, and being the sports fan that you are. Obviously, we're going to pay attention to all the Detroit teams, including the Red Wings. We didn't bring them up, but the Red Wings, we ain't no need to bring them up. They like the Pistons. Right now, they behind,
Yeah.
but they're very young. They're young and
Yeah.
they're growing. So, yes, I do know that they're young. They're rebuilding. They're just not there yet, but they'll get there. They'll get there, right?
Hmm.
So I want to tell you again, thank you for coming on to my podcast, late night podcast, as we're doing it here.
Right.
And
Thank
when
you
I'm
so
in
much.
Detroit, I would definitely hit you up. We definitely got to spend some time together. We got to hang out.
Absolutely. I'm done. Thanks again for
Absolutely,
having me on.
no problem. You take care. Enjoy your Wednesday night and the rest of your week. Take care, Lexi.
Thank
We'll be in
you.
touch.
You too. See ya.